So this is part one of a three-part video just highlighting how I prep, pour and finish a Star Wars table that I'm making for a client. So as you can see in this video right here, we're just prepping both sides of the table, cut them to size, and now we're just going to remove the bark. The important thing about removing the bark is it gives you a much stronger adhesion to the wood with the resin. You don't want any weak points in this table. This table is going to be 2 meters long, 900 wide, so you want to keep it as strong as possible. I do find the disc grinder does an amazing job to remove this. If you guys know of anything that works better, or if you've not tried it and you want some advice on it, drop me a message. So what we've done here is we've grinded off the bark, and now we're moving on to mapping and obviously cutting the size of the boards themselves. So I use the rail saw here. We're looking for a 250 finish on each embankment with a 300 river in the middle. So I'm just running it down with the rail saw, just three cuts through it, just to ensure we're not putting too much pressure on the saw. Bit of a clean up. So I like to use my Mercer sander with an 80 grit pad just to tidy up the edges of the embankments, obviously taking away the grinding marks, but also the 80 grit gives it a nice coarse finish for the resin to adhere to. I'm a huge fan of Mercer sanders. If you know of a sander that you like the most, comment below, let other people know, just in case Mercer isn't for them, but it's definitely my go-to sander, and it does a fantastic job with finishing. So once we've sanded all the edges, taken away all the grinding marks, we're now looking at squaring and obviously ensuring that it's cut to length. So we measure, square the ends, and that's piece number one done. So we'll repeat the same process with the second embankment, again ensuring that we've taken all the bark off, cutting to size, and then we'll get the Mercer sander back out with the 80 grit just to ensure that we take all those grinding marks off to give it a nice natural finish. So once we've completed this process, we'll look to map out the table itself. Now I know with this particular table I'm going to be creating a couple of islands running through it, so we've got two fork islands either end where we can have the X-Wing starfighters coming down and entering a center channel into the table where the Death Star will be situated. So as you can see, I'm just mapping out the table itself. We're now going to create a couple of island pieces. So what I like to do with this is I tend to keep offcuts of live edge that I haven't used. This allows me to trace them, and then I can create it with the grinding disc again and create that kind of natural sort of look to a straight edge piece of wood. I spend a little time doing this just to make sure that we get a good finish, because this is going to be one of the focal points of the table itself. So we'll take a little bit of time making sure that it's all grinded back, it's all sanded nicely, and it's all how it should look when we're ready to do the pour. So you can see I'm clamping my pieces down. The grinder is quite a powerful tool, so you just want to make sure you stay a little bit safe with that. And we're just going to position it as it should sit now within the river. So after I finished this process and I completed the second piece, I did that slightly off camera. We then go upstairs and we set it all out in the mould, fix it down and get it ready for pouring. And this is how she's going to look. Thanks very much. Follow me for part two.